Once upon a time, in a little barn nestled amidst rolling hills and fields of clover, there lived a sleek, beautiful cat. Her fur was the color of fresh hay, her eyes a sparkling green. She was known as the cream cat because of her love for a good splash of cream in her milk. Now, the cream cat was a thoughtful creature. She liked to sit for hours watching the sunbeams slant through the dusty rafters, the motes of dust dancing in their golden light. One particularly bright afternoon, as the cream cat basked in a patch of warm sunlight, she noticed a large barn owl perched on a rafter above her. The owl was a stern-looking fellow with wide wings that swept the floor when he took flight. His gaze was sharp and focused, and his feathers were the color of moonlight on snow. The other animals in the barn knew him as the moon caller, for he was rarely seen during the day, and his haunting hoot echoed through the night. The cream cat had always been wary of the moon caller. He was a bird of prey, after all, and she was just a lowly barn cat. Yet today, as she watched him, she had an idea. She rose gracefully and approached the rafter where the owl sat. "Good day, mooncaller," she purred, hoping her friendly greeting would not startle him. "It's a fine day, isn't it?" The owl turned his head slowly, regarding the cat with his sharp yellow eyes. He did not reply, but the cat was not deterred. "I have a proposition for you," she said, her voice low and sweet. "You see, there are foxes in the fields tonight. Little foxes, sly and quick. Thereafter the newborn lambs in the meadow." The cat paused, letting her words sink in. She knew that the owl had a fierce sense of justice and was renowned for his courage. It was also common knowledge that he detested foxes who were known to steal eggs from nests and kill young chicks. "If you were to drive those foxes away," the cat continued, "then the lambs, my lambs, would be safe." The owl remained silent, his gaze fixed on the cat. She could feel his sharp eyes boring into her, and she held her breath, waiting for his response. Finally, the owl spread his wings in a slow, deliberate motion, then ruffled them twice. Twice. That was agreement. The cat's heart soared. She knew the owl's wrath was terrible to behold. If he joined her, they could save the lambs. As twilight deepened into night, the unlikely pair took their positions. The cat climbed to the top of a hay bale, her green eyes scanning the darkness. Below her, the owl launched himself into the sky, his white underparts flashing like a beacon against the dark backdrop of night. Suddenly, a flash of russet fur, a fox, bold and brazen, darted across the field, his eyes fixed on the helpless lambs. With a silent, graceful movement, the cat sprang into action. She raced across the yard, her lithe form a blur in the darkness. At the same moment, the mooncaller swooped down from the sky, his talons extended. The fox, startled by the sudden attack, turned tail and fled, his bushy tail disappearing over the crest of a hill. The cat and the owl exchanged glances, a silent understanding passing between them. They had saved the lambs and, in doing so, forged an unlikely alliance. Together, they had proven that even the most different of creatures could find common ground, united by a cause greater than their own. As dawn broke, painting the sky with hues of pink and orange, the farmer came out to check on his flock. A wide grin spread across his face as he saw the lambs, all safe and sound. He scratched their woolly heads and chuckled. "You rascals, you gave me quite a scare last night. But you're safe now, thanks to our brave little friends here." He looked towards the hay bale and the rafter where the cat and the owl had perched, but they were gone. The cat stretched lazily in a patch of warm sunlight, her belly full from a night of successful hunting. Beside her, the owl blinked sleepily, his feathers ruffled. For a moment, they just basked in the warmths, each lost in their own thoughts. Then, as if by unspoken agreement, they rose and took to the sky. One soaring high above the fields, the other bounding gracefully across the rooftops. And from that day on, the barn owl and the cat became fast friends, sharing stories of their hunts and their victories under the soft glow of the moonlit sky.